everybody, and welcome once again to Casual Gamer Oz as we are in our F1 2016 career mode, the second season in the penultimate race of our second season at the Autodromo José Carlos Pace, Interlagos as we often know it as, and this will be the penultimate video in terms of the F1 2016 career because we will then switch focus to F1 2017. But a recap of what happened in Mexico. 20th place on the grid, was absolutely disappointed with that, but the race itself got an amazing start, battled away with a couple of Ferraris and found myself in 9th position, a position that I held to the rest of the race, to the end of the race. I finished in 9th. Points, 2 points for me. I took it, was happy. Let's get into Brazil, a circuit which last year I crashed on the last corner and ended up dead last on the grid. It was a wet qualifying from memory, so we've got a dry qualifying this time around. You know I like this circuit. You know I'm going to compare it to the Red Bull Ring in Austria, but let's get to Interlagos. It's a fun circuit, it's a short circuit, and it's never a boring circuit, so let's see how we can fare on a dry Interlagos. And was very, very racy last year in the Grand Prix itself. But I remember I butchered a move on Felipe Massa and ended up in the wall. So, yeah, that was my first ever crack at Interlagos, at least from you watching me do it. And we'll see how we fare this time around. Nice to end the season with another podium, at least here in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, can't win the championship. Looks as though that's going to be Hamilton, which in real life, I mean, this would generally be the F1 2017 season. And given that in the game, at least, he won in 2016, he'd be gunning for 4 championships in a row. He'd be the next Seb Vettel there, or Michael Schumacher. So there you go. Now we're on pole position pace here at the moment. This is where I binned it in the wall last year. If we can maintain it on the track, which we do, can he hold on to it? Put the DRS open. Have we gotten pole? I think we have. Yes, we have. Let's do it. Let's pump that fist. The second time this year, just like last season, we got 2 pole positions. This season, we get our second pole position. Can we get our second win? I'm very happy with that. Clearly, let's go into the race. Okay. Now, remember, the only pole we got this year was back in China, and I was doing decently in that race until I had that woeful closing of the race and ended up finishing last. So my other pole positions, I had obviously the D and F back in Italy in the first season, and I got, what did I get, second in my very first pole position in Canada. I also got a 300-point development bonus from the sponsors, by the way, so they seem to like me. Alrighty, and we've got a dry race. Yes, okay. Let's go for victory number 2, and let's see if we can do this. Whew, I'm all of a sudden nervous. Don't know why. Okay, let's have a look at the grid. I wonder who's on pole position. Who could it be? Oh, that ugly fucker. There he is. Rosberg second, Hamilton third, Ricciardo there in 4th. I think if Rosberg wants to keep going, he's going to have to get a couple of gaps on Hamilton there. Button, Alonso, Verstappen, Raikkonen, Vettel, Grosjean. Has Perez out-qualified? Oh no, Hulkenberg's out-qualified Perez. Celebrations. There he is in 13th, Perez, Massa 14th, Gutierrez, Magnussen, the Manors, 17th, 18th, Palmer, 19th, Sainz. And who's going to be the last 2? The usual pairing of Kvyat and Nazar. I'm not looking forward to driving the Toro Rosso, considering that they're that far down. But I mean, Nazar keeps qualifying dead last. So anyway, alright, here we go, folks. Interlagos, my 4th career pole position, my penultimate race, I should say, in F1 2016 career mode, and we're underway. Now I'm just going to maintain the gap, and look at, was that Rosberg behind me just getting an amazing start there. So we're going to go into this turn. We're not going to try anything too risky. Surely I've held the lead coming into it. I have. Hamilton, that was actually. He's gotten ahead of Rosberg. So right now, Lewis Hamilton is in the prime position for him to win his 4th consecutive World Championship and 5th overall. Seems to be a little bit of incidents going on behind me with some flags and everything else happening there, but we don't need to worry about that because we're leading from the front, and that's all that we need right now. It is a very short circuit, one of the shortest on the calendars, and it's also very unforgiving. You make a mistake here, you're generally going to find yourself spinning out because of the very thin layout of this circuit. It's not a wide track, so generally the widest you've got is up the main straight, And that's generally where a lot of the overtaking moves will happen, because it's hard to go more than one abreast into some of these corners, into some of these straights. So as we head up into that main straight right now, we maintain the lead. Hamilton behind me getting racy, and should have enough of a gap here right now for him not to trouble me heading into turn 1. I do. I set that fastest lap, and we lead another lap of a Grand Prix. I've never led from start to finish, obviously. My only victory came after that overtaking manoeuvre on Hamilton in Italy. So could this be a case of my very first lights to flag victory? Again, I'm not jinxing it because Hamilton is very racy. Now, look, if this was in the real world, I'd be on the radio to Manisha and the Sauber team, like, look, you know, tell Lewis to calm down, alright? He's going to win the World Championship if he finishes where he is. Okay? You know, just let me win the Grand Prix. You know, come on. Lewis has got enough. He doesn't need to take one away from this, you know, upstart Waterworth. I know he overtook him in Italy, but come on. Let him win. Haven't you seen his face? He's a very unattractive man. Alright? Pretends to know a lot about Eurovision and instead just annoys the shit out of people and ends up blocking people on Twitter because he can't handle a bit of criticism. The sook. Alright, anyway, hi to Joel Creasley if you're watching, and let's be honest, you're not, because you're probably off trying to go to comedy school to learn actually what is funny in life. Because you're certainly not achieving that right now as your quote comedian skills. Alright, 2 laps in. Hamilton has set the fastest lap though, so he is very racy, and we're going to have DRS enabled at this point too, and he'll get that on me here. Oh, I've taken that corner very badly. He's going to have it easily on me, so I'm just going to plant it on the inside. And if he wants it, he can take it, and he's not going to. I'm just worried he's going to clip me now. Rosberg get ahead of him there. Oh, I'd like to see Rosberg take him out and then hold on to second place. That would be great for a neutral in the championship battle. And Rosberg got ahead of him, but I don't think that will be enough. It won't be, obviously. Rosberg will get 18 points. Hamilton will get 15. And I think he needs at least, was it 7 or 9 points more than him? So Rosberg's going to have to hope that Hamilton will have a bit of a problem, or that whoever is in 4th place can find the pace to get ahead. Now, if I had flashbacks or I wanted to risk it here, I might try and deliberately back off and take Lewis out. But I'd rather the victory, thank you guys. Now, as we move up in here, again, Rosberg will probably have DRS, so I've just got to keep an eye on him into turn 1. It's a very tricky section to kind of maintain that inside line, because you can come at you from nowhere. It's a very difficult opening straight, as I managed to defend it there, but coming up into this next bit after the opening chicane, I'm not looking forward to kind of what might happen here, because he's got a good run on me, Nico Rosberg. And if he was to win and Hamilton finish in 3rd, then we know that championship got advertised. I mean, I could just simply move over, let Rosberg through, and then block Hamilton. There's an idea, but again, I want the win. I want the win. Sorry, Nico. Sorry, my friend. And then I'd have to do a lot more work for you in Abu Dhabi. I just want the win. We're on my penultimate lap. I want a lights to flag victory here. My penultimate Grand Prix in career mode on F1 2016. It'll be good for the psyche heading into F1 2017. My move to Toro Rosso. So we now, for the penultimate time, take it into the final straight. Is Rosberg going to get aggressive? Rosberg knows for the championship that he needs to get ahead of me. If he doesn't get ahead of me, it's good night and thank you for the rest of it. And I've got a bit of a gap here on Rosberg. He's not even going to be able to challenge me into the first corner as we start the final lap. We've led every single one of these laps so far, people. This could be my very first lights to flag victory, my very first victory from pole position. I've already tasted victory champagne once in my career back in Italy. Am I about to eclipse Pastor Maldonado and actually win a second race? It's getting tight. It's getting close. I think I've got the gap on these two behind me. Lewis Hamilton will be world champion at the end of this. It does seem, barring any exceptional circumstances. But right now, more importantly for myself, I'm going to be completely selfish. This is looking like a famous victory once again for for Ben Waterworth in the plucky little blue and yellow Sauber. Really shouldn't be blue and yellow because Marcus Ericsson doesn't drive for him anymore. I took his seat, so we don't have all daddy's money coming in from Marcus Ericsson. Who cares about Marcus Ericsson right now? Because we know he could never win a Grand Prix. And I'm going to make it 2 victories in this season. This is great. This is going to feel even better than it did in Italy because it's been lights of flag. I win the Grand Prix now. There it is. Thank you, Jeffrey. Started first, finished first. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it. And there he is, Lewis Hamilton, the reigning world champion, who gets another world championship. Congratulations, Lewis. And, yeah, no surprise really there. We want to see my celebrations. Again, no Manisha. We get this guy. I can't remember his name. That's great for you at home. Choking. He's really a very attractive man when he raises those arms, let's be honest. And the Sauber team, they just don't know how to celebrate. They're like, holy crap, we won a race again. And, oh, there's my teammate. Oh, 21st, Felipe Nazar. Oh, you suck. How does it feel that your teammate won the damn Grand Prix? Show yourself now, Ben. Here he is. He knows how to do it. There's that number 62. Of course, I chose that. That's my favourite number. And there we go. Point to the trophy. You are a race winner yet again. Champagne is sprayed. We've got one more Grand Prix to go in career mode for 2016. How will that happen? What will happen, I should say. We will soon find out. It's Abu Dhabi. And we're going to be very, very excited to see what happens in Abu Dhabi. Let's just take a quick look at the start because, well, I guess I think we need to see me leading from the front. And the very racy Lewis Hamilton. Watch for him behind me there because he gets an amazing start and challenges both Rosberg and I. As you can see there, the pace of him just cuts across the Red Bull, goes for the gap, and straight away he goes to the lead. But somehow, I even get a bit of grass there. I just get a bit more drive out of that first corner into the chicane and maintain it. There's a little bit of a train going on behind me there. But there you go. That's Grand Prix done and dusted. That's how I won the race. There's nothing more to be seen. That is Brazil. So I win only by 7/10 of a second. Hamilton third, gets the world championship. Ricciardo, Button, Alonso, Verstappen, Raikkonen, Vettel, and Bottas. Championship now. Hamilton's won it, of course, as we know. So it will all be to play for. Basically, is that for third place? No. Ricciardo's got that. So really, 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th. You can play for those roles at this stage. More so 5th, 6th, and 7th. Verstappen goes ahead of Raikkonen. So the Ferrari's now on 7th and 8th. Struggling. I obviously can't catch Vettel. The good news for me, though, is I'm secure in 9th place. No one can catch me. So I am 100% locked in to 9th in the championship for this season. Very happy with that. Perez, he will finish, well, no, he's equal there with Bottas. So 10th place for him at the moment. Constructors, well, Red Bull look like they have locked in 2nd place. McLaren all but got 3rd. Ferrari will no doubt finish 4th. We are pretty much locked in then in 5th place as well. So can we get to the century? That will be my next goal here. We're going to get at least an 8th place finish or higher, and I will get to 100 points in a season. I'll be very happy with that. Force India, Williams, Haas, and Toro Rosso, Manarino. Well, can they get some points in the last round? We'll wait and see. We've got one more round to go, folks, in our F1 2016 career mode before we get into F1 2017. But thank you for tuning in to Casual Gamer Oz. We will be back next time for the final round. We're a race winner again. What a great race. We'll speak to you next time. Casual Gamer Oz. Good night.